Okay, people are saying, oh my gosh, can you hear it? Can you hear it? Yes, buyers are rejoicing right now. You can hear it, but it is also a good thing. So inventory is at its highest level in the last 18 months. Now, some folks are going, oh my gosh, that's horrible. No, it's not. And we're going to go over the whys. We're also going to go over one of my comments last week where I said marketing is not putting your home in the MLS. Putting your home in the MLS is not marketing, okay? And I'll tell you, what a firestorm. I had probably 15, let's go with 15 agents call me about that comment, which on one side I was like, cool, man, you're watching my channel. I hope you're learning something. The other part is that, you know, they really gave me a lot of pushback. And so we're going to go over that in just a little bit. But for right now, let's talk about why, the inventory being at its highest level in 18 months is not a bad thing. So, because some of you, and if you're a seller on the market or about to go on the market, maybe you just got that little gut punch and you're like, oh my gosh. No, not at all. But I do guarantee you the buyers are rejoicing. Now, you might remember I kind of made a joke couple of weeks in a row saying, hey, sellers, we love the fact you've been coming on market. And if you come on market, we will come out to your home in droves. We will. You must have been listening, because here's the really cool part. We did see, and again, this is normal for our inventory to start increasing, but it's still horrifically low. Now, I'm going to give you the really simple thing, because when you look at this number of 31.3%, you're like, holy mackerel, that's like a third. Yes, but again, a big number like this looks big because we're dealing with such small numbers, okay? So as an example, 31.3% translates to about 1,500 homes. Okay, now on Fridays, when we took this big jump, because on Wednesday, that 7-day running average, of which we have right here, that was at 1,300 homes, shade over 1,300. I think it was just shy of 1,400 homes. We took a big bump on Friday. Well, actually, it took a big bump on Thursday, like we did with a couple of our listings, because Sunday is Mother's Day. So that's tomorrow. So, sidebar, happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there. We do thoroughly appreciate you and love you for who you are, even though at times it takes us into, our early 20s to figure out that really you had our best interests at heart. But nonetheless, we do thank you. So with that, happy Mother's Day to all of those folks that are mothers and fathers who are mothers. Anyway, so when we look at this, 1,500 homes, that's all of the Northwest MLS. That's half of Washington State. That's a lot of people. Just saying, or not a lot of people. That's a lot of ground to cover. It's not a lot of homes. And in fact, I think we have like 6,000 homes available today, which is awesome. And guess what? Buyers are going to be out there, guaranteed. How do I know this? Because again, we had 1,832 homes that came on market. Okay, that's awesome. That is like one of the best numbers, right? But look at this. We took 1,820 of them off. And this number is consistent. I think this was at 1,700, almost 1,800, on Wednesday during our 7-day running average. Hence 7 days, it runs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because we do our agent and team training and whatnot every Wednesday in the morning and the evening. We look at the running day average so that we're looking at before it hits and basically at the tail end of going on market trend. So big deal. Yeah. But look, we are still, when I said you bring it on, we'll take it off. That's exactly what happened here. They brought it on, we took it off. It's easy. If anybody plays at lost wages, Las Vegas, and they put the cards down. You see that guy sweep it across? There you go. Anyway, now we'll get back on track here. All right, so that's only 1,500 homes. So year over year, new on market, and again, that's January to today. Today, it's technically May 7th, but these numbers are to May 6th. We only had 900 additional homes come on market year over year. That's pretty small. That's a very small number of homes. Then when we look at our pending, we're only down 1,100 homes. Okay. Well, considering until the last 3 weeks, we have been absolutely struggling with inventory. And yes, we have seen a little bit of pullback, with interest rates going up. Sure, everybody, I hear about this one all the time. Why are you telling everybody about a $100,000 haircut? Why'd you have to say that? Anyway, so it's not a $100,000 haircut. Today it's a $125,000 haircut. Anyway, okay, with interest rates going up, albeit they actually came down a little bit, and we'll talk about that shortly. When we take a look at solds are only off 1,450. Again, that's a very small number, all things considered. Now, you might say, George, you said we had 6,000 homes on the market today, and that answer is yes. However, as I was showing Heshan just the other day, or yesterday, actually on a Zoom call, I said, hey, let me put things in perspective for you. He's like, okay. So I opened it up and showed him the last 5 years, and it showed that we should have been at like 16 to 18,000 homes today, in May, and we're at 6,000. So we are struggling still with inventory. So even though, and Vikas is going to post a couple of these, even though you can see, right there, boop, even with this increase, we went to 3/4 of a month, 0.75. I know I said 0.8, but it just rounds it up. All right. And a shout out to my friends at Trend Graphics, who helped me with our statistics as we tweak and play and try and get you as accurate of information as possible. We have 3/4 of a month. That's not even 1 month. A healthy market is 4 to 6 months. We haven't seen that since, I don't know, probably 2005, 6. No, that's not true. 2008 through 2013, we saw, as high as 10 months of inventory because we had very few sales, tons of homes on the market, and this is a completely different environment than then, okay? Because when we come over here and we look at just the month of April, for 2021 to 2022, all right? Again, as expected, it's 30% up on total homes available. 1.4, we're actually down for the month of April, technical, by 147 homes. We're down 2.3%. We're down 180 pending sales. Okay, pretty small potatoes. Here, 700 homes down. That doesn't surprise me. Are we going to see a little bit of play in here? Sure, but look, we are still pulling off and closing 1,463. But remember, we're looking at things 30 days ago. We're still looking at things when we were struggling with inventory. We're not looking today, right? Dynamic number. We see this today, right? This is a today thing. This was a yesterday, then some. Okay, remember, 30 days ago. So it's going to take a while for this number to catch up. All right, that's fine. Okay, whatever. Understand, this translates to future this. Now, yes, we do have some transactions that fail. Absolutely. And in fact, that's why part of the comment for sellers coming on market and sellers that are out in the market, when I made the comment, that got a few agents a little upset when I said marketing does not mean putting it in the MLS. That is not marketing. And people are like, oh, yes, it is. And in fact, one of my team members said, oh, yes, it is. And I said, really? I said, let me let me hit you with a logic hammer here. And he's like, God, I hate it when you do that. All right, so here we go. Here comes your logic hammer. All right. If you ever looked at a newspaper, for those younger people, that was a printed thing that we used to get that was delivered by somebody out of their window, throw it in a mud puddle for us so we could wring it out and watch it, or try to read it. But anyway, a newspaper, whether, even from Costco, you still get them in the mail. Okay, so a store, Costco, QFC, Fred Meyer's, Safeway, Rite Aid, whatever it is, right? Okay. Have you ever gotten an advertisement from a store? Well, of course we have. We all have. And they advertise soup, and they advertise this, and they advertise that. And you get a discount here. But wait a second. Why? Why would they do that? You're in their store. Those things are on their shelves. They're there for you to look at. Why do they need to pull them out? Why do I have to give you a, hey, here's an incentive. Hey, let me pull this in front of your eyeballs. Why do I have to pay, yes, pay to get your eyeballs on that product? I mean, it's the store. You're in the store. You have stuff in the store. You walk around the store aisle by aisle looking at things. I don't need to pull things out for you to have eyeballs on. Oh, wait a second. That's called marketing. The MLS is the store, and there's all kinds of stuff in the store. And the goal is, and the purpose of that ad is to get more eyeballs on that specific product in the store, okay? Sure, you go to the soup aisle, okay? And you have different kinds of soup, right? You have Progresso, you have Campbell's, you have whatever. And then you have the store brand down there, which has no flavor. That's your limited service brokers right there. The soup that looks like soup because it comes in a can and it says it's soup, chicken noodle, but then you look at Progresso, and Progresso's got all kinds of good stuff. It's got celery, it's got carrots, it's got good stuff. It actually has flavor. Then you have the store-bought, the store. And, well, this is 99 cents. And, well, shucky darns, this is like $2.99. What do I want? Do I want flavor, or do I want something that fills the bowl? Flavor? And that's the difference between limited service, because here's the thing. Limited service folks right now, this is where they fall on their face. Because if you're not marketing, if you're not that store that has the ad that says, hey, look at this, you need to look at this, right? This is what captures your attention. That's why you go down the soup aisle to look at that, because that looks a good idea. Now, do you look down here? You might glance down here, but you're going to be buying this. Why? Because now this is a great value. This meets my needs. This has flavor. It has stuff in it. When I get done with it, I don't feel like I just had a bunch of broth, flavorless broth. I had something yummy, okay? Successful. That's the difference. Marketing does not mean putting it in the MLS. You must be proactive in what you are doing. You must be proactive to get eyeballs on the property. And if you don't, especially in a market where you have buyer fatigue, yes, there is pent-up buyer demand. But understand, 3 things you need to expect: fewer escalations, fewer multiple offers, okay? Some very awesome clients of mine, Jim and Andrea, they made the comment yesterday as I asked them, I said, how did we do? And they're like, George, you did absolutely awesome. Our home is sold and theirs is not. And what that means is, out of all of the homes in a 1-mile radius, we're the only one that sold. We do marketing, the others, they just put it in the MLS. That is not marketing. So if you are on market, and you have to understand that time on market costs you dollars. Let's be very clear, okay? And in fact, homes have been on the market longer than 10 or 15 days. You know what buyers say? Must be something wrong with it. We hear that all the time. Okay, so if our average market time, and Vikas will throw that one up for you, our average market time is around 12 to 18 days. Same thing it was last year. We were seeing up to 108% of market value from sales list price to sales price. Okay, that means if I listed at 100,000, I'm getting 108,000. Okay, well, that's going to start to come back down again, back down to probably 100 to 105%. But understand, if your home is on the market and sells within the first 7 to 10 days, you will get between 100 and 107% of list price, okay, on a well-priced home. I'm not talking about something that's been discounted well below market value, and look at what I did. Duh, right? I'm talking about real marketing, okay? Real, hey, here's my property. In fact, those of you who are looking at, hey, I'm going to hit a psychological price point, be very careful. If you only get that one offer, not getting multiple offers, you might find yourself in a little bit of as Brian used to say, a sticky wicket, all right? Just understand that. But anyway, let's get back. Your home sells in the first 7 to 10 days. You're going to get between 100 and 107% of list price. Right on. But what if your home stays on to 20 days? Okay, well, that means you're only going to look at 96, maybe 98% of market price, right? Okay, well, what if you go from 20 days to 40 days? Well, now you're looking at 92 to 93% of the list price, right? So the more time on market means a lesser price on average, not every time, right? So Justin, the guy that I know, he had his home on market. He's a listing agent, and it was on market for 35 days. They ended up getting full list price. Okay, that's awesome. Rare, but because normally, statistically speaking, you are going to see that. So time on market is directly proportional to cash in your pocket. It also means that instead of buyers giving up concessions, sellers are giving up concessions at that point. So keep that in mind. Do not be over aggressive. Why? Whoop, let's come back. When we take a look at, there were 415 homes that were reduced, right, in the last 7 days. 146 that canceled or expired. That should never happen. Our inventory is too low. You need to make sure that you're taking your sentimental equity that has zero buyer value. Set it aside. I know it's tough. Set it aside because it does not matter, okay? For buyers are being very strategic right now. In fact, we are being very strategic with our buyers in that here's a trend for those of you that maybe you guys did not get offers on your review date. For sellers out there, what is happening is buyers are now kind of waiting. And if they think that it's really kind of on the edge, they'll have their agent call, or hopefully their agent calls and said, hey, did you get any offers? And if the agent says, oh, I'm really confused. I put it in the MLS and I expected buyers. Okay. What they're doing is they're waiting to see if they go past the market review date, and then they take off the market review date. I'm going to review offers at a future date. And then they will come in at a better price. Sometimes it's list price, sometimes it's a little bit less, right? And for sellers, they get a little anxious. Agents are super anxious if they don't get an offer. And then, of course, they go down that path. Okay. Well, in today's market where we are being very strategic and buyers are being super strategic because they're tired of the escalation clauses, they're tired of the multiple offers, and yeah, there's a lot of buyer fatigue. So they're coming in and being more purposeful. But here's another important thing. I mentioned this last week, I'm going to mention this again. If you're a buyer out in the market and you have not gotten yourself re-approved in the last, say, week to 10 days, stop, put her in reverse. Make sure you get that update, because here's what you're going to find out. Interest rates have gone up. You took a purchase price haircut for the same price. And that means you probably are not going to qualify for as much as you did before. Now, there are options to consider, and there's rate buy downs, there's ARMs and things like that. There's a lot of different options to consider, right? But understand, if you have not been reapproved, you better get it done and do it today, okay? And understand, here's another important facet for you guys. All right, here's the thing. I know of a lot of companies, a lot of the big banks, not that I'll mention any names, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, US Bank, and whatnot. I would never mention names like that. But anyway, massive layoff of underwriters, and next on the hit list are going to be processors. Why? Okay, so we've got a refinance that's kind of ended, right? Nobody takes and refinances their 3.5% mortgage to 5%. So refis have disappeared, right? Okay, that means they don't need those people, which means that loan approval process is going to be longer. Make sure that you are well aware of that as you're working with your agent as far as timelines on, hey, I can still close in 30 days. Are you sure? You better make sure. Because I'm telling you, processors are next. And I know a lot of loan officers that are going to be on the chopping block after that. Why? Hey, if we're not making as many loans, hey, we're not seeing all the refis coming through, we don't need you. Sorry. All right, just understand that timeline is going to be extended. make sure that you have everything ready to go, because it's a real bummer to look at tens of thousands of dollars in an earnest money look like it's going to go away. Be careful, right? Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk about, rates, 4.875 today, 6% for non-owner occupied. Somebody said, George, in fact, I had a really great conversation. I duked it out with an economist, and it was pretty entertaining. And because we were going back, and he's like, oh, no, we're going to see prices go down. I said, no, you're not. How can you? You don't have enough inventory. It's like, well, because you're going to have all these people, the sellers look at everything's coming on market. And I'm like, yeah, this is normal spring stuff. Not anywhere near as where we should be. This is normal spring stuff. And they're like, okay. And I said, wait a second, let me ask you a question. You think we have a pent up seller demand to come on market? Wait a second. In the last 2.5 years, they have had like the penultimate opportunity to come on market. And you think now that interest rates are going up, that they are going to now come on market. And I said, some of those might, right? The people who already planned on it. But how many people do you know with a 2.8% to 3.5% mortgage is going to say, hey, you know what? It is a great idea. I'm going to sell my house. I'm going to move up, and I want to pay 6 to 7% interest. He didn't have a response for that. And I said, I can tell you the answer to that. That's going to be pretty much a very, very small number, okay? Because they're not going to trade, they're not going to double their interest rate. That's why we're going to see fewer homes coming on market, which is a real bummer, because sellers are going to look at that and say, wait a second now. I like that 3.25 or 3% or 2.8% mortgage. I like that number. You know what? I'm going to remodel my house. I might even add on to my house because it's cheaper. And I already like where I'm at. I'm good with that. I'm just going to change it. So we're going to see a bump in remodels. We're going to see a limited inventory coming online. And some of you just went, oh my God, that makes perfect sense. Well, of course it does. You watch my show every week. Subscribe. Hit the bell. Make sure you're watching this. Hey, this is good information. And I love the interaction with you guys. Keep asking questions. Keep asking questions. And we will keep responding, okay? Hey, listen, there's no cost. There's no strings attached here. I'm giving you things to think about of what should happen, okay? What will happen market-wise. Look, we've been doing this since 2007, 5, 6, somewhere in there, a long time, and we've been pretty much spot on. I don't get it right 100%, but you know what? I am more on than off as far as giving you guys great feedback, okay? And we are going to continue. We are going to taper off. We are not going down in values, okay? We don't have enough inventory. It is not 2008 again, all right? Understand that. We do not have enough inventory. Plus, even if interest rates do continue to get up in the 6s and the 7s, I'm telling you that's coming in Q4 probably this year, September, Q4, somewhere in there. It's going to happen, all right? Listen, just expect it. It is not going to get cheaper. For those of you that are waiting, thinking, oh, it's going to get cheaper. No, it's not. Heck, even rents are up, 18%. And in some areas higher, as high, 22% year over year. Look, rents are going up. Buying a home is the only way to stabilize that expense, that housing expense. The only way to stabilize that is to purchase a home. Condos, condo inventory has dwindled. Why? Well, because there was no other homes to buy. Homes were getting crazy, but condos, which are more cyclical, they were waffling. Hey, in King County alone, I think there was a 45% reduction year over year in inventory. Okay, well, inventory might be going up, but the condos certainly went off market. So keep that in mind. In the meantime, if you guys have questions, post, subscribe. Okay, subscribing tells us, hey, we like what you're saying, and it helps to get it out to others so they can make a really good business decision. That is all this is about. If you have a question, I'll answer it. I'm not going to hunt you down. I will answer your question. If you need more information, we'll do a video for you, all right, as we do for a lot of people. In the meantime, you guys have a beautiful day. No toilet paper flying around this time. Last week you did the toilet paper analogy. A roll of toilet paper came flying by. I thought that was pretty good. We did not put that in the end of the video, but it was pretty funny nonetheless. In the meantime, you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.